Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat MAULANA QAMAR UZZAMAN Sahib Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Wednesday morning at Baitul Azkar in Wasiabad, Allahabad, UP, India, Wednesday, the 10th of Zulqa'dah, 1444, corresponding with the English date, 31st of May, 2023. Hazrat Wala is saying that Amir Muawiyah, Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an. Today the thought came to my mind that I should speak on him. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib used to speak about him abundantly. Maulana Irshad Sahib, the Muballigh of Darul Uloom Deoband, when he came and he was about to go and give his taqreer, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib said to him, speak on Amir Muawiyah. So we stopped. He was a Katibe Wahi, one who recorded the revelation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and a close companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hazrat Irbad ibn Sariya radiyallahu ta'ala an narrates, I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying in the month of Ramadan, at the time of Sihri, come, join in the blessed meal. What did Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam say in Ramadan? At the time of Sehri, come join in the blessed meal. I then heard him saying, Allahumma allim Muawiyat al-kitaba wal-hisaba waqihil adhaba. Oh Allah, teach the book, the Quran, and accounting, hisab, to Muawiyah, and protect him against the punishment. So I have compiled this kitab, Hazrat Wala is saying, but I'm not even remembering this year. It's becoming taza and fresh in front of me now. Abdul Rahman Abu Umaira radiyallahu ta'ala an narrates that I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam making this dua for Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an. Allahumma ja'alhu hadiyam mahdiya wahdi bihi. Oh Allah, give him guidance, guide him and guide others through him. You know, it is taken, the Hashia they is saying that this here is taken from Siyar A'lamin Nubala, Siyar A'lamin Nubala, from that kitab. Hazrat Maulana Habibur Rahman Azmi was here on one occasion, and this particular kitab was in front of him here in Allahabad, Siyar al-Alamin Nubala, due to which he remarked and he said, ये वो किताब है जिसके लिए हम सफ़र करते थे. This is that kitab that back in the day, Maulana Habibur Rahman, Muhaddis Akbar, Muhaddis Azam is saying, the great traditionist is saying that back in the day, in his days, in his youth, he says, it was this kitab regarding which we used to make safar for. Today, this kitab is right in front of us, and in the Arab Mamalik, this kitab has been published widely. These great voluminous kitabs, they have printed it. Yunus ibn Maysara says, I heard Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala saying the following from the pulpit in Damascus. He's sitting on the mimbar, and what does he say? O people, give in charity, and no one person should say, I earn very little, because charity and sadaqah given by a poor person is superior. It is greater to the charity and sadaqah given by a wealthy person. Allahu Akbar. Yusuf ibn Abdihi relates, I heard Ibn Sirin saying, Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala began shivering. So, a few light duvets were placed on him. After a short while, he felt discomforted by the duvets. When they were removed from him, he said, "Cover me with them again." He then said, "May Allah destroy this world. I remained in this world as an Amir, as a governor for 20 years, and then as a Khalif for 20 years. I have now reached this condition which you people are observing at present. With these blankets and these kumbals, I put them on me, I'm uncomfortable. I take them off me, I need them again." Allahu Akbar. Now Hazrat Wala is writing here a footnote. Subhanallah. Look at how conscious he was of his weakness and inability. Their attention was on that. They focused on that. Their own weakness and inability. That look at what's happening here. Ayaz, the great minister, he was the great minister and eventually he becomes the king. Listen to it. I mean, I heard this hundreds of times, Hazrat Wala is saying, but it may be new for you and you have not heard it and maybe you have not even learnt it. But the time came when he sat on the throne. But what would happen? He would still go to that very same room every day while he was still in working mode, when he was still at the bottom, when he used to go and put on shoes. Every day he would open that door, even after becoming a king, and he would look in that room where he would go and change and put on some overalls or some uniform or whatever it was back in that day. And he would address himself and say, "Ayaz, baqadre khud bashanas, qadre khud bashanas." That, Ayaz, understand your own worth, understand your own value, meaning understand who you were. Today you may be on this throne, but don't forget where you were once upon a time. You know, Hazrat Fatima radiyallahu ta'ala anha, we're speaking about this duvet. I mean, we can speak of a parda, like the Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab also did not like something which was very, very loud. The colors and this and that. He would say, "Take this away." Myself also, my mizaj is like that. I mean, today the topic has come, that's why I'm saying this here. And in the house, the daughter-in-law Abdullah's house, she was very meticulous about this here. That, "Abba, we should not buy this for him. We should not buy that for him. Get this one here, it will suit him." And they understand this and they will put that. Hazrat Fatima radiyallahu ta'ala anha, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam came to her house and then he left, he was disturbed about something. And what was the actual thing that had happened? Some narrate that it had some faces and pictures on it, and others narrate that it was absolutely colorful and very, very loud, due to which Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam he left then. So I'm saying here, especially for the ulama, they should keep things like this in their mind. Nevertheless, there are lots of weaknesses here, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala complete and remove those weaknesses. Allah remove those weaknesses, whatever deficiencies they are. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assist us. Hazrat Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha had some outfit or garment, and she asked Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Can I wear this? It was beautiful." And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to her, "Yes, there's no problem, you may. But listen, let it not be a means that you look down upon the next." Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala used to say, "Ana awwalul muluk." I am the first of kings. Allama Zahabi rahimahullah is saying here, this statement is correct because Hazrat Safina radiyallahu ta'ala narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "The Khilafat will remain for 30 years after me. I will then be followed by kingship. Thus, The Khilafat after prophethood ended after 30 years, and Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala then became the ruler. Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala has actually argumented and highlighted his position. There are few kings who reach this lofty level. Hazrat Ta'us narrates from Hazrat Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, when the time Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala an's death approached, he said, I was with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam on Mount Safa. I asked for his comb, and he took his blessed strands of hair which were on it. I asked, so Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala is saying that I was with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam on Mount Safa. I asked for his comb and took his blessed strands of hair which were on it. So when I die, those strands must be placed on my mouth and nose. It must be placed on my mouth and on my nose. So Hazrat Wala is saying, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to speak about these incidents, these waqi'at, and then he would cry. And the people in the majlis also would cry. You know, this kitab, Aqwal Salaf, is in 11 volumes. I'm not praising myself, but the amount of ulama that have written in affirmation of this particular kitab, I have gathered that also one side. Nevertheless, whether people read it or my own people are not reading it, but nevertheless, I have gathered the mahasin, the good of the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what I have done. So every sahabi has his own shan. Now you would have the greatest sahaba, Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Umar, and then you would have sahaba who were lesser in degree. But sometimes what you learn from the juniors, you would not find those certain points even in the seniors. Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala made a bequest and said, I used to help Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam to perform wudu. I removed his kurta and so let me just say that again. Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala made a bequest and said, I used to help Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam to perform wudu. He removed his kurta and made me wear it. I have preserved it. I have it. I collected his clipped nails and stored them. When I die, I must be made to wear the kurta, and the clipped nails must be placed on my eyes. I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have mercy on me by virtue of these items. Hazrat Abu Maryam Azdi radiyallahu ta'ala said to Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala on one occasion, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appoints a person as a ruler and he disregards the needs of his subjects and he disregards the needs of his subjects and remains concealed from them, he's hidden away from them, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will disregard his needs on the day of Qiyamah and remain concealed from him. Consequently, after Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala heard this, what did he do? Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala appointed a person specifically to see to the needs of the masses. The needs of the masses. Now what about his self-restraint and forbearance? A person was very abusive towards him. Someone said to him, why do you not punish him? He replied, I feel ashamed before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of giving up my forbearance just because of the shortcomings of my subjects. I feel ashamed that how do I give up my forbearance? Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an, advised his family members thus: you must always be forbearing towards the Quraysh. During the days of Jahiliyyah, when anyone was abusive to me, I replied with forbearance. Consequently, the person would become my friend and would be forever ready to support and defend me. Forbearance does not alter the nobility of a noble person in any way. Rather, his honor increases. A person cannot be correct in his views as long as his forbearance does not have the better of his ignorance, and as long as his self does not have the upper hand of his desires. Benevolence. All the past Khalifs considered it an honor and a source of pride to serve and see to the needs of the Azwaj Mutahharat, the mothers of the believers, Ummahatul Mu'mineen, the pure wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Hazrat Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an did not deprive himself of this honor. He used to serve each one according to her rank, especially Hazrat Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha. He used to send 100,000 dirhams to her at a time. Apart from this, he would at different periods, he would send amounts of 5,000 and 10,000 dirhams. Hazrat Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha wanted to give 10,000 dirhams to Munkadir ibn Abdullah, but she did not have the amount at that time. The money which Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu used to send to her reached her that evening. She called for Munkadir and gave him 10,000 dirhams. Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an passed away in Rajab 60 AH at the age of 77 and was buried in Damascus radiyallahu ta'ala anhum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him. Now you know what, we came to the end here, Hazrat Wala is saying, but I'm looking for this narration of Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala, and I can't understand why is it not in my kitab. How did it get left out? That Hazrat Abu Bakr, he used to say that Abu Bakr carried himself this way, that way, and was not soiled with the dunya. And Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu also lived such a life of abstinence and walked in such a way that he also was not affected by the dunya. But what can I say about myself? Myself, I am so soiled, and rather I would say I am drowning, latpat. I am completely covered in this dunya. Saying this here, he would weep profusely. So Hazrat Wala is saying, I can't understand why this is not written here, because Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to quote that incident about the hair and the nails, and he would quote this particular incident where he would say that the dunya did not affect those two great sahabis, Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Umar radiyallahu ta'ala an, but the dunya has affected me. I can't understand why is it not mentioned here. Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of staying on the path of our akabir. Saghir's mother-in-law, or is it the mother also? Allah Ta'ala grant them shifa. Rather, Allah grant one and all shifa and afiyat. You know, I think of Maulana Rabi Sahab as well. Yaad aate rehte hai. His thought comes to the mind over and over again. And so many that have just passed away now, Muslimin and Muslimat. Allah Ta'ala have mercy on them and treat them in the best manner. Allah Ta'ala make the muamala of rahmat with them. So this is the seerat of the Sahaba, which we should most definitely keep in front of us. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ بِحُرْمَةِ سَيِّدِ النَّبِيِّ الْكَرِيمِ صلى الله عليه وسلم.